This week, we get an update on Diddy and what he's doing in jail. And there's a shift in the music industry because CEOs are stepping down. Let's talk about it.
Drug climbing up the ladder of success until I'm high enough. I'm drippy, we'll bust a fit till I'm dry enough.
Must have been away too long because my feelings are dead. I feel no remorse.
H.A. Will the chosen, stay golden. Let a nigga build all his roses, stay focused. One door closed, another one just open. 1M, 2M, 3M's, every day a weekend.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. Episode 60 is live. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode, man. Thank you for all of the support you guys have been giving me. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe now. I just need to get that out of the way so I can actually talk about what's really going on. Also, I did drop a bonus episode this week, or a STEM clip, giving you what my favorite albums of 2024 are so far. So please go support that. Go click on that and go check out what I got. It'll be amazing. So this week I'm going to talk about two albums, and I have two stories for you guys. So let's get into it.
New releases.
This week, Future dropped his newest album, Mixtape Pluto, 17 tracks, 45 minutes long. I didn't like it at first. It starts off very, very slow. Like, I didn't get into the songs. So I was like, what is this, a lean-induced album? And then when I finally got into it, probably about song number 5, that's when I really was starting to get into it. I'll be real with y'all. It's probably the weakest out of the 3 albums that he's dropped. I think We Don't Trust You is probably the best one. I like We Still Don't Trust You because it's mixed. That's a R&B Future. You know what I'm saying? And this is really going back to his mixtape days, but some of the songs on here, man, they so lean induced. It's ridiculous. Like you got to be on lean to enjoy songs like Pluto Ski and Ready to Cook Up. Like those types of songs, like you got to be on lean to be able to enjoy those songs. But once we got in like the Too Fast song and started going into those types of songs, and oh man, Lost My Dog. Oh man, that's a great song too. Like it's some good songs on this album. I'm not gonna hold it. There's some good songs on this album, but it's just not what I got from We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You. Like it's just not there. It's not a bad album because he got some slaps on there. I just didn't get the same type of energy that I got from We Don't Trust You. And I think the startup of the album is really what bothers me. Like when you first get into those first few songs, it just don't hit like that. And again, once you get into the second half of the album, that's when it really starts flowing a whole lot better. I gotta give a shout out to Southside and Weezy, who produced most of this album. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. I do have a question though. There was supposed to be 2 features on here that got taken off. Travis Scott was supposed to be on this album. He was supposed to be on the South of France song, and Gunna had a feature on here that ended up being erased. He left 2 features on here, and he left off 2 people who I thought would have made the album a whole lot better if they would have been on those songs. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if they're going to show up on the deluxe. I don't know how this is going to work. Now, I know Future's getting all kinds of praise. I think he's going to do great numbers the first week. I think he's dominated Apple. I think he's like number 1 on Apple and has every spot on Apple right now, which is amazing. And like I said before, if you watched my video on the best albums of this year, he's had a great run. Personally, for me, out of the 3 albums that came out, this is still last place. It just don't hit the same as We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You. I think those albums was like top tier. Those are albums that are the bar. I think We Don't Trust You should be up for album of the year. I think it's one of the best albums that came out this year. So hopefully this is the last album. I don't want Future to put out any more projects. I do want him to get on some more features because his feature run this year has been great. I think he's done a phenomenal job on that. Again, I said it on the best of video. If it wasn't for Kendrick Lamar, Future would have the best year. He would be MVP for this year, 2024. But if you haven't listened to Mixtape Pluto yet, go out and listen to it. You'll enjoy it. I don't think it meets the same criteria as We Don't Trust You. So Alchemist dropped a new album this week. It's called The Genuine Articulate, 8 tracks, 22 minutes long. Short listen. I thought it was all right, man. I love Alchemist. Alchemist is like a top 5 producer for me. I think he's one of the best producers, and if you wanna talk about longevity, I think you need to look at his catalog. But the rapping side of Alchemist, it's a little rusty. It's not as good as what I thought it was going to be. Now, Alchemist did start off as a rapper. If some of y'all don't know that little history lesson, he started off in a rap group and ended up becoming a producer, which that ended up being his niche. But I like that he's trying to get back into his rap bag. I more I came more for like the beats and more for the features. He has a song with Larry June on here called Details, which I think is the best song on here. He's also got, let's see, I think he's got Action Bronson. Yeah, he's got Minnesota Facts with Action Bronson and Big Body Biz, which I think is one of the better songs on here too. This album is way more for people who are hip hop heads. Like if you're a hip hop head and you like to hear loops and you like to hear beats that don't got no drums on there, this is for you. Alchemist is doing most of the rapping on here as well. Eh, it's okay, man. I wish it could have been better. I wish he had more features on here. There's one song in particular you gotta listen to. Seasons Change is probably one of the best songs I've heard this year because again, one of those introspective songs. Didn't think I was gonna get something like that from Alchemist, but it's basically talking about what his life is like now compared to what it was. Way more basic. He gets up and has more joy hanging out with his son than he does driving a Mercedes or driving expensive cars. It's a fire ass song. He actually has a video out for it too. But at the end of the day, it's all right. Uh, I I wanted more songs and I wanted more features. Alchemist is completely rusty when it comes to rapping, but I like that he's getting back into it, getting back into his rap bag. If you're a true hip hop head, you'll enjoy that album.
Music news.
All right, so let me give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on with Diddy. It dominated the news cycle this week, so I got to talk about it. So first and foremost, they actually put a package together for Diddy to get bail, which got denied. Few things that they had in that package was the term said they were going to restrict all visitors to Mr. Combs' residence except for family, property caretakers, and friends who are not considered co-conspirators. The second thing they had on there, they said they would restrict female visitors for Mr. Combs' residence except for family, mother of his children, so on and so forth. And the third thing was they promised that they will do drug testing regular basis. And the judge said no. And you know what? I don't blame him. I would have said the same thing. You're too rich and powerful for people to trust you to do right by the things that you're putting into this document. There's no way I would trust Diddy to do anything outside of jail. Like, if anything, he has too much power to be able to intimidate witnesses. He has too much power to be able to control what people are going to say about him. He had him outside of jail just gives him too much freedom to do what he wants to do. So I agree. Don't give that nigga no don't give him no out in jail. Don't give him no bail. Put that nigga in jail and let him sober up. That's the problem. He never got a chance to sober up. This is his chance to this is his opportunity to sober him, get out of the bullshit. So Diddy's lawyer revealed that he's on suicide watch. I personally feel like that's a little over sensationalized because it's too early in the game to be thinking that he's going to unalive himself while he's in jail. I think he has enough power and enough um, money to be able to move his way around still without getting life. Because people are saying that this dude might get life. I don't think that he will because we know he's telling. There's no way that he's not snitching on a lot of these people that's been at these parties. There's no way that he's not going to be telling on people that's been around him doing the same type of dirt he's been doing. He's going to get a lesser sentence. He's most definitely going to go to probably one of the easiest prisons that's out. He's going to get put in jail. He's going to get jail time, but it's not going to be what you think. The suicide thing, I think, is more for the media to kind of make us feel a little bit more, what's the word? Have a little bit more sympathy for him. But at the end of the day, nah, that's just not going to happen. Another thing that happened this week, his ex-girlfriend Kim Porter's memoirs dropped, and there was some bombshells in there. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I haven't read it. I've only read what some of the articles are talking about, which they say it has something to do with having relations with underage boys, and it also talks about some of the of physical abuse. Don't know, haven't read it yet. All I know is it came out. It's a lot more information that's kind of going against him than it is in his favor, and it don't look good. And I think that's another thing. When he went to jail, people started s- throwing up at the mouth. People started saying whatever they wanted to say. Like Shine. Shine came out, said what he had to say about him taking the fall for Diddy back in the day. A lot of people are feeling very empowered right now because Diddy is in prison. I think a lot of people honestly are going to get their rocks off because he's in jail right now. Is that good? I don't think so. You didn't have the courage to say when he was out. What how much power and how much influence does Diddy have over some of these people that they couldn't speak about this stuff when he was out? It's crazy because somebody like Diddy to have that much influence over what people can do and say, it's mind-boggling to me. What else do I have in the notes here? So the speculation is ran wild. I'm recording this actually early morning, Sunday early morning. One of the things that I read when I got up was Usher completely deleted his Twitter account. Like he has no posts anymore. And people are sitting up here speculating yet again that that has a lot to do with what Diddy's been up to. I pray to God that Usher has nothing to do with this, but it just seems like it's going towards that way. I, that's very weird. That's very out of nowhere. I don't know why he did it. He's not explaining why he did it. He just did it. And everybody on the internet is speculating like crazy. I'm gonna be one of those people to speculate as well. That nigga's got something to do with some of this stuff too. God damn it, I'm going out on the line here, but I'm being honest. You don't up and just delete your Twitter out of nowhere, especially during some of this stuff that's going on now. Either he's afraid that something's on there that's gonna go back to him and what he has done with Diddy. That's gonna go into something that he may have been a part of, just some nastiness that he may be a part of that he don't want to get caught. A lot of people are trying to watch their steps and do what they're watch their steps and clear out some things because people are on edge. Like this is about to be one of the biggest cases since maybe OJ. I don't remember any like big black celebrity cases like that. Well, I guess you could say Thugger, but the Thugger Rico trial is ending up to be a joke. But this is one of the biggest cases. This is about to be one of the biggest cases ever. And people are really watching their steps around here. People are really trying to make sure that they don't have any nastiness or they don't have any connections to what Diddy's been doing. Listen to some of your favorite podcasters and see how they starting to cop a plea right now and saying, well, I wasn't around or that wasn't me or I left the parties early. The videos are going to prove to be a lot of evidence. There's a lot of people who are going to come forward to be witnesses to what they've seen and what has been done. The industry is about to get rocked, uh, especially people who've been very heavily connected to Diddy. Everybody's speculating these names. Everybody's speculating who's going to come out in these documents. I don't want to know. I'm gonna be real with you because I think some of the people that I love, I've probably been a part of this, and it's going to hurt my soul to know to to hear about some of these people. What do you think? Do you think this is people are being overly protective of themselves by this by erasing their Twitter stuff? Do you think that it's really going to be that big of a deal, the people that they found on the videotapes or in the when they start unleashing the names? Let me know in the comments. So Kevin Liles is leaving 300 Entertainment. He's stepping down. Uh, I think this is probably one of the worst things that could happen in the music industry right now. Just being honest. I think Kevin Liles had a lot to do with what modern hip hop is sounding like, or artists that actually came out. If you don't know, 300 Entertainment, he launched 300 Entertainment with Leor Cohen, Roger Gold, and Todd Moskowitz. Now they all came together from other labels. They were all like Def Jam executives at one point in time, and they actually built this label. They actually gave this label a ton of legitimacy as far as like them being the execs. You got to think about it. They signed Young Thug. They actually signed Gunna too. They took a chance on both of those artists, and you see how their careers ended up. Uh, Kevin Liles to me is one of those people who have been so a really great executive as far as like thinking outside of the box and actually helping artists become developing artists a whole lot better than some of these other labels. You got to remember you have to have checks and balances when it comes to making albums these days. Yes, it's great to be an independent artist, and yes, it's great to be somebody who can do it themselves. But if we being honest, there's no quality control anymore. Artists don't have executives in their lives to tell them, "Hey, this sucks. Redo it." We don't have somebody who actually helps them understand the importance of mixing and mastering. Kevin Liles was one of those executives that actually cared about the artist and actually told artists what he really thought, and I thought that was great. And you gotta remember, he was the one that came to testify in favor of Young Thug during this RICO trial. Kevin Liles was the person who actually came, stepped up, and said, "Yo, we don't need to be using his lyrics in this trial. We need to be trying to if you wanna prove it, don't use his music." You know, he's been an advocate of not using lyrics against artists when it comes to court cases. Not a lot of executives are doing that these days. And to see that he's stepping away from 300 means that there's a change in the industry. The industry is about to go into a place where it's going to be more tech companies and less executives that care. Um, it just sucks because we already don't have quality control in music, and we already don't have people who are checks and balances these days. A lot of times, these executives really don't care about if you can do music or not. They just care about what your following is, and that's not the way we want to go with music. Um, the fact that we're getting a shift in music, the fact that we're getting all of these people getting fired and laid off from these record labels. Like, look at Atlantic. Atlantic is completely getting changed over because they're under a new regime. I don't even want to talk about them dudes because they're like the invisible hand, but it's two names that's out there. Go look it up. But I hate the fact that Kevin Liles is leaving because he actually helped build a label that people really gave a damn about, and he had so many great artists on there. And the fact that they might be in limbo after him stepping down sucks. I think that was one of the few labels that independent artists could go to and still be independent, still do the type of music that they wanted to do, and still have that development that made sense. Kind of like TDE. TDE has been signing artists and actually doing the work to develop them into better artists. And that's what I love about TDE. 300, you could say the same. Now, I don't know where the industry is about to go. I just feel like it's going to go more tech based. People aren't going to care about the music. We're going to get more AI sounding songs. It's just going to be bad. But once you start getting executives like Kevin Liles stepping away, it's not a good thing at all. Go check his track record. Go look up his history. He is one of those artists that care. He's one of those executives that care about artists. And he has moved the culture forward in a great way, in a positive way. I just wanted to bring this up because I love hip hop. I love music. The people are getting fired, the people are getting laid off is coming from us. The hip hop parts of a lot of these labels. Go check the numbers. Check what I'm fact check me. If we don't if we don't say something about these executives getting fired or getting moved to the side or stepping down, we're gonna get an industry that has no soul, that has no caring about what the music sounds like, and we're gonna get a lot of trash. Y'all niggas always on social media complaining about music don't sound the same. A lot of that has to do with these executives getting fired. A lot of this has to do with executives not the good executives not being there to help develop the artists and help craft the music that we love. Now, I know some of your favorite rappers are talking about what UPS is hiring. Okay, whatever. But this shift is going to be hurtful to our genre and it's going to be hurtful to hip hop. I just wanted to salute Kevin Liles because everything that I've ever read about him or any kind of interviews I've seen him on, he has always been for the culture. He's always been for hip hop. He's always been for artists being able to make the music that they want to make and also quality control, development. Like those things matter when it comes to uh, artists being like real stars. Again, two examples, Thugger and Gunner. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully the shift that's coming in the music industry is not gonna be as bad as I think it is, but if I'm being realistic, it probably is. Kevin Liles, thank you for what you've given us. Thank you for having a label having a label that's actually a lot more forward thinking than you might think, that a lot of people might think about. I salute you, sir. Well, that's my time. That's it, man. I got nothing else. Short, sweet, to the point. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, what's the problem? Why aren't you a part of society? Join the STEM Society by being a part of the B1K Media YouTube channel. Subscribe today. Get notifications. I got some extra videos coming out this week. And make sure you guys check out the Patreon. The Patreon, we're gonna start the Hip Hop Survival Guide. The next chapter of Hip Hop Survival Guide is called Texas T, and it's gonna be all about Texas hip hop. So please take time out to subscribe to the Patreon and get a lot of this bonus content I'm giving y'all. Thank you guys for rocking with me, and I'll catch you guys next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.